Welcome, everybody, to this very spooky edition of Wednesday Night Standard. Top Deck Productions, brought to you by GameSwap Mason. I am John Douglas, here with the legendary Taylor Gunn.
We won't know how handsome you are tonight, as this mask you have on is very intense.
It is a pretty intense mask.
I agreed to wear my Halloween costume, but only if John wore a costume, and he's selected a really nice mask. Hopefully we'll get to see it at some point tonight.
You got to tell
Stay
the whole
tuned.
story.
What? I have a cow onesie.
The whole story is, I was like, hey, wear your costume. And he's like, well, are you going to wear a costume? I was like, I have a mask in my trunk at all times. So
And I didn't believe him.
Go. He didn't believe me. So we pull up. I open my trunk, pull out this mask, and
No, he pulled the mask out of the spare tire compartment of the trunk, not just like, oh, it was flopping around in the trunk.
yeah, I don't leave stuff flopping around in the trunk. Have you ever been in that compartment? There's like a lot
you
of
have
bottles of water. There's
Survival gear.
Yeah.
Masks and bottle of waters.
rope, duct tape, a shovel. Spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff.
Speaking of spooky stuff, we've got this Boros deck versus a Rakdos deck, mono black red splash. Kind of interested to see what this is all about.
Yeah, should be good. Terrence, a known quantity here, not a regular quantity, but like everybody knows him, good guy.
He is a good guy.
Always comes in with something to look at with his standard decks.
I was thinking you were talking about the man. He's a very handsome man.
Oh, he's a handsome man. Wears nice jewelry. Cheers for great football teams.
I do appreciate his Bengals fandom. You got a scry to the top on a Malta 6.
Alex is on the play here. Leads with the nice, one of my favorite planes. I like those with the Boros horns in the background. I thought those were cool. Amonkhet.
We've got a nice one right off the bat. I don't even remember what this card is called from the new set, but you can pay 2 and make him discard, which is solid. Alex isn't going to stick around to figure out what it does.
All right. Oh, is that the little 1/1 flyer?
Yeah.
All right, and here's
another discard. Oh, man. Kite Sail Freebooter.
So the freebooter here is going to really get some value because it's going to get a History of Benalia.
Yeah, there's 2 histories, though. You don't like seeing that. Or is it just instants and sorceries?
Kite Sail Freebooter, I believe. Well, he's chosen a Rekindling Phoenix, which is something else. Oh, come on. For some reason, this...
Non-creature, non-land. So you technically can't get this Rekindling Phoenix.
Could have gotten...
But should have gotten one of the History of Benalias. For sure. Because that's all he could have gotten.
All right, so we got the Night Token in play. And that's a fairly good start from what I know about these red-white decks.
Yeah, History of Benalia is really good. Even if this thing could have gotten a creature, I probably would have taken the History of Benalia.
All right.
Oh, man. Here's an Aurelia.
Aurelia?
And we're going to pick up this miss trigger, but that's fine. Can't miss that one.
So Aurelia gets like a modified haste where it gets to pump the Night Token that has Vigilance.
Yeah, get some extra damage in there. This Boros deck is nice.
Yeah. It comes out. It's not like your red decks of last season, where those come out 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up to Hazoret, and then they just win the game.
Mm-hmm.
This deck has a little bit more pacing to it.
It absolutely does. Well, I mean, you need to. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 Hazard decks were a little oppressive, and they really warped the format to that.
Sure.
But, you know, it was an alright format still. Adam Olds in the chat. Don't forget Halloween, so you have to avoid answering your door in shame. Yeah. I have had to do that before, and I gave kids potatoes and powdered milk from my aunt's house. So, answer the door. Just be a little bit creative.
Sure.
Man.
So Aurelia's going to target herself, I think.
I don't know. You might want to...
So the knights are already pumped from the... There you go. Targets herself. And the knights are already pumped from the history going off this turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the history went off this turn. That's the piece I'm missing.
And Terrence is going to have to block something.
Big old swing. It's cold and rainy everywhere. But I have been trick-or-treating in the snow before, so...
That's how we do in Ohio.
That is how we do.
The Wayward Phoenix comes back to hand. And I'm hoping we see something big and impressive out of Terrence here. He's played 2 cards, and that's not normally a way to win a game of Magic. So I'm wondering if it's...
Yeah, they've mostly just been some discard stuff. It seems like his deck is tuned a little bit more to fight the control or mid-range decks.
Sure.
This is a very good start for Alex. There's a red mana.
Yeah.
Hoo boy. We got a blocker.
Is this the Doom Whisperer?
No, this is the M19 dragon that you can get back from your graveyard.
Okay.
Couldn't even tell you the name of it, but here's a Rekindling Phoenix. I think this Bone Dragon. There you go.
The old Bone Dragon.
Bone Dragon.
Yeah, so you know the skeletons are coming. You hear the Bone Dragon.
Yep. So I think he has him here. If he pumps the Aurelia, swings in, he gets to mentor one of the knights. Even if he doesn't mentor one of the knights, it's still over.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of damage.
And we'll go to game 2.
I think Terrence won spookiest deck there. Because that Bone Dragon's got some spooky art on it.
It is a little bit spooky. The Bone Dragon definitely drinks his milk.
He does.
He's got some strong bones.
They're wide.
Mr. Skeletal would approve of the Bone Dragon.
I've always wondered so like bird bones are hollow to make them lighter so they can fly.
Yeah.
But they have like, you know, they just have like wings where their arms are.
No.
Yeah, birds don't have another set of arms.
Oh, you're talking about birds.
I'm talking about birds. I'm talking about real live birds.
Yeah.
And so like they don't have that like extra weight. Whereas dragons, their wings have bones in them.
Right.
Like they've got the bones and then they have like the fingering of the bones coming down.
Yeah.
Which
kind of like bat wings.
Well, no, bat wings don't even have that. They're cartilage.
Well, sure.
But dragons, I mean, they just have to weigh so much. The mass has to be there.
Oh, they weigh a lot, yeah.
Right. So I'm
gotta watch out for those dragons. They're some heavy business.
I mean, if force equals mass times velocity, and you increase that mass enough, you don't need a ton of velocity.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, but it requires more energy to move the mass.
Sure.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword, if you will. A double-edged bone sword.
Ah, the old bone sword.
Bone sword's ready.
Bone saw.
There was a nice 3rd edition, I want to say, D&D book about dragons. They like
Okay.
talked about their anatomy and stuff. It was really interesting for all of our multifaceted nerds out there.
Listen, we can promote other Wizards properties.
Yeah.
You can come into GameSwap Mason. They have a ton of D&D stuff.
Well, beyond that, come into GameSwap Mason on the weekend of November 11th and participate in Ravnica Weekend, where they'll have one-shot D&D campaigns available.
Are you serious?
Yeah, taking place in the Ravnica universe.
Fantastic.
Pretty interesting stuff.
That is pretty interesting stuff.
You can also do a 4-pack draft and
Yeah,
win
they're
some
really-
foil basics.
They're really. Oh, are those to be won?
Oh, those
They're
are-
not to be handed out.
They might be handed out. I don't know.
They're
Get
really,
you some.
They're really pushing this 4-pack sealed for draft weekend, or 4-pack draft. Because during Ixalan they did the dino size draft.
Uh-huh.
I just look over and John's got his tongue hanging out of his mask.
Yeah. That's how I do it.
And so I'm wondering, how would you feel?
Got to get limber.
Limber. How would you feel about sanctioned draft becoming a 4-pack format?
I think it's a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. All right.
Yep. Heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Terrible idea.
It's a fun little casual format every once in a while, but
Every now and again.
not something you want to do often, and certainly not in a competitive environment.
Sure.
But I think they kind of scrambled to get the Ravnica weekend together. It doesn't seem very well planned out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they scrambled to produce additional art, have it printed, packaged, and sent to stores for the basic land promos.
No, they planned on the basic land promos.
I'm
the
sure
whole
they
time.
scrambled to write one-shot D&D campaigns.
No, that thing already existed.
Did it?
Yeah. What do you think Ruben's doing on Twitch? Shout outs to Ruben Bresler, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Ruben Bressler for
Adanto Vanguard.
Adanto. Is it Adanto, Vanguard, or is it Adanto Vanguard?
It's Adanto Space.
Space Vanguard. Yeah, what night did they play?
I don't know. He's only done 2 so far, and then TwitchCon was there.
Yep.
I've just watched replays on both of them. I don't have the luxury of like sitting around on Twitch for the most part. I guess I kind of do if I wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to cut back your anime diet, you would have the luxury of sitting
Yeah,
around
me.
on Twitch.
I don't know if we could do that. That's asking a bit much.
You watch some pretty awful anime.
Listen, I'll be the first one to tell you that.
All right. We're sacrificing something to play something else.
Sacrificing a dread demon or a dread shade to cast a catastrophe demon or demon of catastrophes.
Oh, yeah, this was the guy that was the promo from M19. You get a full art one of these. It looks nothing like this. So really,
I do like the way this one looks, though. 6/6 flying trample. Man, it's going to be tough to battle around that. Even with an Adanto Vanguard.
correct.
But these hexproof from black creatures are going to be tough for Terrence to get around unless he has something like a Ritual of Soot.
Man, could you imagine Ritual of Soot here? He would really put himself into a winning position.
Soot him. Yeah. Yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs is nice, Adam. The movie for that was pretty good, too. I was surprised.
What's it called?
Bungo Stray Dogs.
Interesting.
It was one of the ones that I just started watching randomly. It's like, I don't know what this is about. Let's see if it's any good. Sure enough, pretty good. How about a cast down?
How about it? Tell me what's up. So cast down on the only target. He could make it indestructible for 4 life. That's a lot of life. Okay, pays the 4 life and he casts it down again. So now he's putting him to the test where he has to pay 4 more life.
Which would put him in die next turn range.
Let's it go.
Still a fine payment of life.
You like the first one?
I do like the first one.
Okay.
So you got to look at the clock there. If Alex gets to swing in there, it's 8 damage with the Adanto. Or I'm sorry, it's 10 damage with the Adanto.
Right.
So it's a 2-turn clock, and Terrence needs 2 attacks, but Alex gets to attack first. So I'm totally fine with paying the 4.
Sure.
That's called doing the math.
Called doing the math. Here's the Bone Dragon again.
Bone Dragon puts a little bit of damper on that.
Terrence has found that we just have a lot of big guys in this format.
We do.
And that's good enough for him.
Good enough for me. Draw here's a Shalai. I don't think we have the land to cast it.
No.
We have a couple shocks in hand, I think.
Yeah,
but only 1 red source. So if we get to attack in, it's 5.
He was a little pinched on mana there. No.
Yeah, didn't hit his 3rd land until turn 4, I think.
Yeah, that's
5 maybe.
Welcome to Magic the Gathering.
3, 4. Yeah, it was turn 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, but it happens.
Stay tuned after the match.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little trick or treat with our fellow
Our competitors. I don't know if any of you guys are chronic pack openers like I am, but that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna open some packs.
We are gonna open some packs.
And it's gonna be a fun game to see what kind of packs we open.
Yes, indeed.
In the deed.
In this deed. 1 deed, please.
1 deed, sir. Did you review the coverage from this weekend? Did you want to check out any deck lists? Watch any matches?
I didn't watch any matches, but I looked at the top 32 for both GPs.
They are nice.
Yeah, lots of great deck lists from this weekend. And even the most recent 5-0 dump was really nice from Moto.
Oh, it didn't get that far in my research.
I like it. I just don't have like a really good finisher.
I wanted to watch.
That's been the biggest problem that I've had.
I saw Gabriel Nassif get to the finals with this blue deck.
Yeah, the Tempo Blue.
And his opponent in the finals also, he beat the green-black deck in the quarters. Or the semis, I'm sorry. And then his opponent also beat a green-black deck.
Yes.
And so I was interested in watching that go down because I feel like a lot of decks don't look that good in the hands of an amateur, myself included.
Okay.
I've known to take like a Pro Tour deck list and just bumble through a tournament with it, just like, oh, I guess I'm gonna 2-3 this bad boy.
Just bumble all the way in.
Yeah, just bumble all the way in. But then a pro takes it, and you're just like, oh man, I missed everything.
Yeah, so the blue Tempo deck.
Yeah, the blue deck is very much that way. Like watching the Steve play it, I'm just like, I'm so bad at Magic because I wouldn't have done one thing that he's done the whole tournament.
First turn he goes Island, you're like, no.
I'm like,
how does he know?
no, I'm like, all right, Island, all right, good. And then they're like, and he's gonna pass here. He's gonna want to protect his, and I'm just like, what? I don't know. I go, why wouldn't I not play the unblockable 1/1? The card is amazing. It's a Merfolk.
You got to play it on turn 4 so that you can't counter their spells.
Yep.
Not the ideal way to play. I think we had it on a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about how like the whole point of the deck is to get out 1 threat, suit it up, and then protect it the whole game with your increased card advantage.
Yep.
But
yeah, the games he won, he did that. Let's not take a creature this time.
yeah,
You gonna take that lava coil? Perfect.
there we go. I was just reading it.
You got a reader.
I think that's the only card you can take. Is that a Captain Lannery Storm
Love it.
on the far left?
I'm a big fan of the captain.
I don't know that that's what it is. but
TFC.
I'll captain my captain.
So I can take this one.
Yep, that'll be it. My bad.
All right, Captain Lannery Storm may be in hand. We'll see here.
Sorry, I don't play Magic.
Be a nice turn 3 play to go with this.
No, it's no big deal. Not trying to cheat.
Pay 2.
Oh, he's going to pay for the Sacred Foundry, and
We'll throw down the captain.
here's
It
the
is-
captain.
And we'll go to combat.
So our stream's got a little captain in them.
Yeah. How do you like that call on the Captain Lannery Storm, by the way?
So here's where
I was
I
really impressed with myself,
Oh, do you?
yeah, I'm proud of
if
you.
I may say so myself.
Yeah, say
And I
so.
may.
Say.
Saying it.
Here's why I like the captain.
So I will take.
Because this deck has so many 5s in it,
Yeah,
like he could theoretically Lyra next turn.
absolutely. Or even because there's so many 4s in it, it means you don't have to draw that land. The
Heck,
4th land.
He could even have a 6 next turn. Like he could play a land and generate another treasure and just drop like some sort of stupid dragon.
A big honking dragon.
Big old
One shivin' dragon, please.
It could be dragon on dragon violence.
Yeah. And that's a treasure. It can produce mana of any kind.
Any color.
Yeah.
Smooths them out because I know Aurelia has white black in it. I know, or white red. I know there's some other cards that have white red red.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Look at him. He's stoked. He's glad to be there.
I think it's a she.
Is Lannery a she? All right. Well, I'll add it to my list of female baby names.
Kind of looks like a she. But I couldn't tell you lore-wise. I don't know that I've heard any lore surrounding Captain Lannery Storm.
Practice for a red.
But here's 4 mana for Rekindling Phoenix.
Yep.
And
I believe we're going to get a swing for 3 here. Taking Terrence down to 12.
Wait a minute. Did the cast down kill?
Was it a cast down?
That's what's in his graveyard.
Well,
Cast down cannot target Captain Lannery Storm.
nope. Cannot cast it down.
So, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't have any way of interacting with him, so that's fine.
That's fine.
We're just going to run it off. All right.
is that the when it dies, I take 2?
Here is another black card that I've never seen in my life.
So we're just running out the mono black unknown cards and cast downs. Here's a Shalai.
Go to combat.
See, now Shalai's interesting if you only have cast downs. Yeah, I think Shalai's on the stack. Nope.
Hey, let it go.
Go combat.
And you cannot cast down Shalai.
No.
So if you only have cast down, Shalai is really the trump card. I wouldn't do any blocking here. I'd just take the 6 and
Yeah, I don't know what's in hand. So we know he's got a cast down in hand.
That's right.
That's 7, by the way.
oh, I counted wrong because he's got the black permanent.
All right, so you got the red source. I still haven't seen any red in Terrence's deck, I don't think.
We need like a hurricane. Hurricane for 4.
We certainly need to rock it like a hurricane. Oh, that's an Angrath.
So you've played this card more than I have.
Yeah.
Tell me what the right line with Angrath is going to be here.
So Angrath doesn't actually save him is the problem.
Okay.
The only card he can target to steal is Shalai. And there's still like lethal on board.
Right. Well, if he takes control of the Shalai, you can just trade it off with the...
It's only till end of turn.
Oh, okay.
It's only a threaten.
It's a threaten. Okay, it's not like a permanent.
Yeah. So
State
if
of
it
being.
costs 3 or less, it would destroy it.
Okay.
But he's just going to be able to threaten the Shalai. All right, that'll be game. Okay, so I'm going to run out there and hand out some packs. We're going to keep this stream going. Taylor's going to commentate some pack openings, so if you want to get the overhead going.
Absolutely.
I will be...
Get the overhead. We're gonna lay them out. It's gonna be very exciting. We have one really awesome pack I'm very excited about, and then some other packs that aren't as good, but they're still sealed packs. there could still literally be anything in there. I mean, you could open, you know, a misprint, showing 2 other cards, and put it on the misprint group for $50.
That's what I was wondering for a second.
Out of anything,
Why just use
out of
online or July?
Dragon's Maze, or they can take
Here's what we're gonna do.
the treat, which is just opening a Guilds of Ravnica booster,
Giving out some packs.
getting more standard cards into their standard collection,
Foremost,
so that they can maybe build a different
you
standard
get a
deck.
choice between trick or
Terrence might open something and just,
treat. It's gonna be we're gonna
build a whole new deck, because he's a brewer, man. He likes to put together those
5. You get to pick one
those
of these.
packs. So
6.
the way this is going to work is they're going to roll a die. If they roll a 6, they get to open the Modern Masters pack.
And just get a free Guilds of
If they roll anything else, they get to select from amongst the
everything out of the way.
6 crappy packs, less awesome packs. So he gets a
it's your
1.
choice between these.
So Alex is going to select from, I forget what's there. I know Theros is in there. I know Gate Crash is in there. I know Dragon's Maze is in there. There's a Magic Origins pack.
There you go.
What do we have here? What is this, Gate Crash?
Dragon's Maze?
For
real?
Is that a bad one?
Yeah, are you
Well,
kidding
they're
me?
all pretty bad.
I have
Yeah,
no
Believe
idea.
this is Gate Crash.
Constark here would probably be my pick.
There's no
Really,
cons.
There's no cons?
There's a dragon's stuck here.
Oh, yeah, then never mind. Yeah, they're all pretty bad. Theros would probably be the top pick.
All right. Your choice.
Here we go. It's open.
Free Guilds of Ravnica. or
Let's
take
see
your
what we
chance at
got.
the Modern Masters pack.
I gotta roll for it, man.
All right, roll for it.
It's Halloween. Ah!
Oh, Terrence also gets the 1.
Ah!
Your choice.
All day. No. What'd you get?
What was the rare here?
So is that a break?
Spotter, can I get a visual? Can I get a name on the rare?
Okay.
Terrence with the Theros pack.
Breaking and entering
Yeah.
is the rare from that one.
Ooh, Anger of the Gods. That's a nice. That card was up to $5 before it got reprinted in the Modern Masters pack,
Thanks for.
and it's been down since. It's like $1, $1.50. It was the split card. Did the split card have a name? It did, but I just forgot it. So we had the split card. We forgot the name of the split card. Oh, Breaking and Entering. So Breaking and Entering was played in the
That's not
sideboards
even the worst one.
of
worst one that
the
fell in there was Born of God.
Golgari decks of the time, because
Extremely disappointing.
I mean, oh no, this card's actually still worth something because it gets played in the mill decks. Because Breaking will put mill 8 cards from their library put 8 cards from the top of their library into their graveyard, and then the entering half will put a creature card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So this card has Fuse, so you're going to break first and enter second. And the goal is, it's amazing and limited if you can cast it, because the goal is to enter with one of their big creatures out of their bin.
Yes.
How would everybody enjoy that?
Well,
Getting a big creature out of the bin.
sure with the metal.
No, the pack.
Oh, everybody
opening.
loved it.
Everybody loved it?
I've got
So the thing about this is it doesn't target the creature in your graveyard.
sure.
Yes, you don't have. That's what I'm saying. Is that like you can pick the biggest creature after the breaking is done.
The -2.
Oh yeah.
Right, but it also doesn't target, so like they can't get rid of it with
I actually was thinking about
like a scavenging ooze
over cast down. Just
or like a Deathrite Shaman it used to get around pretty well.
Right.
I'm only running
Right.
one.
So yeah, the entering is just going to get the biggest creature at the time of its resolution.
Well, it was used in like the combo decks.
It was.
Yeah, so you could get back like the Borborygmos in your graveyard or
Borborygmos?
the Griselbrand, and they couldn't use targeted graveyard removal on it.
I've been
Noted.
slowly building this together. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
finally
we
got
could-
the
So-
last pieces 'cause I-
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. We're going to be giving away packs all night on stream. It's going to be fun if you like watching people open packs
Yeah, if you're a packaholic like I am,
or pack aficionado.
being a pack aficionado will be another great thing to be. What else we got left here? So I got the Guilds of Ravnica packs that people could open.
Yes. Nobody has gotten the Modern Masters pack, just so everybody knows it's real. It's here.
It's there. I have Gatecrash, Magic Origins, Dragons of Tarkir, and a Born of the Gods pack.
Born of the Gods.
I'm willing to bet that Born of the Gods does not get opened.
Or it gets open dead last.
Yeah, if we have to open it. So we're going to be opening 8 packs total tonight.
Yeah, 8 packs.
I'm hoping that we don't have to replace that Modern Masters pack.
I mean, if we do, we do.
If we do, we do. We're on the, you know, we've called it. It's a called shot. So
I came into this and I was like, listen, if we have to do 8 packs of Modern Masters, whatever, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I guess we're at $100.
Listen,
I'm listening.
it's all for entertainment.
It's all for entertainment. It's for you guys out there in Twitch land. We love having you come here every Wednesday night to see the best standard action that is played live on Wednesday nights in Mason, Ohio.
In the world.
Oh, okay. I was narrowing it down so that I didn't have to be like,
Don't sell yourself short.
well,
In the world.
the best standard action in the world is what we're calling it now.
That's what I'm calling it. I'm willing to make that claim.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to come at me, let's go.
If you're gonna add us, combat us. Right?
Yes.
Is that how that phrase goes?
That's how the phrase
Excellent.
goes.
All right. I haven't been
You
on.
did it.
Haven't been on the Twitterverse in a while, but you can follow us on Twitter at Top Deck Productions. Hang on, let me make sure. I lost my sheet with all the various names. Let me give all the shout outs here. Let me search this up, make sure I give you the
We
right
got it in
one.
the chat if you just want to scroll up.
Do we?
Yeah. Well, it's not there in the chat, but there's a bot.
Twitter,
that-
Top Deck Prods.
There's prods, man. Prods gonna give it to you.
Prod's gonna give it to you.
Yeah, it's a red white.
There we go.
So that's where you can interact with us on Twitter,
Or Facebook,
Facebook.
Instagram.
Do we have an Instagram?
Yeah, we do. YouTube.
Wow.
It's all there. It's all right there in the chat.
I didn't know we had an Instagram.
Well, we got an Instagram.
Instagram's fantastic.
Yep. I don't have an Instagram.
You're missing out.
Am I?
Well, I guess, you know,
I don't really post anything on any social media, really.
yeah, well, I need to, what does that mean?
That's how much time's left in the round.
Oh, sure.
How many matches are still going out there? Okay, we got 2 tables left.
We got 2 tables. So, we talked about the fact that the green-black decks got taken down by a mono-red deck, the Experimental Frenzy deck,
Right?
and the
mono blue deck.
The mono blue deck, piloted by Gabriel Nassif. I liked that on pilot more than deck.
So the mono blue deck's pretty good against Golgari because Golgari can't run a lot of removal right now because removal's so bad in the mirror, and it's so bad against the control matchups.
Sure.
So by playing the mono blue tempo deck, that first dive down might just win you the game.
Sure. The card against Golgari, or the card that Golgari has that's very good against them is Wild Growth Walker.
Yes, but so you can gain like 3 life a turn.
Uh-huh.
But their Jin is just going to be huge. Like their Jin's going to be swinging for like 7 or 8.
Sure, I'm not saying it's unbeatable. I'm saying if I was, you know, having my pick of 2 drops, Wild Growth Walker would be amongst them. So yeah, that was an interesting match to watch Nassif navigate.
Right, but even then, like the Golgari decks are cutting back on the Wild Growth Walkers. Most of them that you see only have 2 in the main anymore.
Yes, there was 2 in the main, 2 in the board of his semifinals opponent.
It used to be that you got to run like Crawl Harpooners, and that really got you through, but
Sure.
not so much anymore.
Is anybody playing the Crawl Harpooner anymore?
I sure would. I really like that card a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mono Green 100% runs it. Mono Green has, or that's part of Mono Green's like turn 2. Is it turn 2? Yeah, turn 2. Galta plan. Or turn 3 Galta, sorry. You got to play multiple crawl harpooners.
Multiple crawl harpooners.
Yep.
So I'm going to drop this into the chat. This is the... Here's a great listing. MTG Goldfish goes really deep on how many deck lists they put up from an event. They're already all the way down to 37.
Wow.
So you can look at, the percentages. Here's the other great thing. You could, looking at this paper price, you can build this mono blue tempo deck for apparently $67 or 21 ticks.
That's fine.
Online.
Other than what
Snapple A Army. I don't know what that extra A is there for, but says he doesn't have any idea how to deal with the mono blue tempo decks as Golgari. You have to really pick your spot with your removal spells. And then it's just, you can't really race them. So you gotta keep them off of the card advantage from their Curious Obsessions. And use your removal spells to stop that. And just kind of hope for the best that they don't have that dive down. Post-board, you bring in more removal. And use your Doom Whisperers as blockers. Basically it.
Yeah,
That's all you know.
I think you could load up on...
Also, Ritual's really good out of the board against them.
Yeah, you could load up on Rituals, so it's really, really nice. Because you could end of turn try to remove like the one guy you can't deal with.
Right.
And then, they have to counter that. Hopefully they tapped out or tap low. And then fire up that Ritualist, so, man, just get them all. You're like, I wanted one, but I'm going to get them all.
I would get them all.
I'm going to get them all.
So a good mono blue player isn't going to just like dump their handful of creatures on the board.
Sure.
So, I mean, you're not really getting a whole lot of value out of it, but it does kill everything and it doesn't target. So,
I
don't have to
think,
worry about dive downs.
So I think that your Merfolk Branchwalkers and Jadelight Rangers are really good against them because they actually, if you get counters on them, they actually provide quite a bit of clock.
They do. So you're able to.
So
swing
you're
through.
obviously you're not getting past like a 7-power Jin, right? That's
right.
We're not talking about that phase of the game. I'm talking about like if you curve out and you get 5 or 6 power on the board by turn 4 or 5, then you can really race with somebody who's only presenting you with 1 or 2 threats.
Right. I mean, if you're in a meta that's full of these mono blue decks, then run some crawl harpooners, man.
Sure.
That's the reason that the Golgari decks did well against the mono blue decks in the beginning. So worth looking at anyway. Speaking of looking at, we're gonna go look at some of these matches that are still going on. Try to find a good match for next round.
Yeah.
We'll be back here probably less than 10 minutes, but we'll be back soon.
Sure. See you then.